You want to start seedlings? I'm going to tell you how.
I'm Holly.
I'm Drew.
I'm Jerry.
Good morning. I am out here in the trailer checking on my plants. So what I've noticed is that the snapdragons are way too wet. So I am removing the domes to let them dry out just a little bit because they are way too wet. If you look, you'll see just really a lot of moisture in there, and you don't want too much. This one is absolutely drenched. So I am taking the domes, taking them off of all of these snaps, and I'll leave them off probably for the day, and then I will put them back on. These are snaps as well, under dome, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but it is really moist in there. And when I did these, they were pretty wet, and I noticed that right away, but they do like a lot of humidity, so I left it as it was. I didn't add any more peat. So if your medium is really too wet, you can always add more peat or perlite and make it a little drier. Although I kept these this way because snapdragons do like it to be wet, but not saturated. And at this point, we're looking at saturation. So I will let them dry out, and they will. It'll take them like a day, maybe two. And I won't let the tops get too dry, but as the bottom gets dry, I will put the lids back on and let them do their thing. This is what our trailer looks like when we're going to get cold outside. We end up putting plants everywhere to keep them alive. I will be taking all of these plants out today and putting them back in tonight, and we will do that probably for about a week. Such is life on the farm. I want to show you guys something here as well. These are squash, and most of them look pretty well, except for these over here. What I have noticed is that I do really good with just seeds you buy from the big box store on squash, to be honest, and my supplier's squash isn't as great for whatever reason. But these right here, these are patty pan. And I do believe last year I had an issue with them as well. So I was racking my brain, what is wrong with these patty pans? And my guess is that there are too many in each cell, which there's 2 in each cell. Some with 3, but most with just 2 in each cell. So sometimes, like beets, they compete against each other, and so I'm thinking maybe the patty pan compete as well. So I started a new row of patty pan here, and all by themselves, each one in each cell, just one per cell. And so if those end up having no issues, I will know for future reference that they compete against each other, and from this day forth they would be planted singular. I want to show you guys what we've been up to and talk about seedlings, of course. Onions are doing well, and we'll be putting those in this weekend, hopefully. Yay! We have lots of different tomato types this year, and we have lots of different cucumbers. We'll be selling those at the farmer's market that we're building. And this is the ranunculus. It looks amazing. I didn't end up with as much as I wanted, but I ended up with quite a few, and I'm very proud of it. Excited to see what it'll do this year. All the transplants are doing great, and I'll be moving them out into the greenhouse this weekend, as we're still going to be getting a few temperatures down to about 38, but not freezing any longer here in Texas, so yay for that. These are squash that I had to restart because I had an issue with them, but I think it's because I had 2 in each cell. So I started them in a new cell. First things first, and I've got to check on the seedling trailer and make sure everything's got water. Today I will be doing a bunch of transplants and trying to get those all caught up. Won't get caught up completely, but we'll be doing it. And I also have a bunch of seedlings to start, and I'll be getting to those this week, and we will be replenishing the seedling trailer at new temperatures. Whoop! Here we come, 2025. So today, I'm going to be transplanting some more of the plants that need to be transplanted in order to get them ready for the market for sale. But first things first, and I will be in here checking the water on my seedlings. The snaps, I had about 2,000 of them, and well, yeah, they didn't make it. So, lost all of them. I thought I didn't know the reason, but as I thought about things and put it together, I realized exactly what the reason was. I actually knew right away, but you know, sometimes it takes me a minute to put it together and be like, oh yeah, that is exactly what happened. What happened was that the medium that I started them in was way too wet. And I also put domes on them to keep the humidity really high for my snaps. I usually have great germination rate on those. But this year it was too wet, and then with the dome on there, they instantly, I noticed like in the next day, I noticed probably within 24 hours that they were way too wet. So I took the domes off and let them off for a couple of days. Still too wet. By then we hit some really low temperatures outside, even though my seedling trailer stayed warm. Not sure really what transpired during that time, but they never got quite dry enough for them to pop. And so after a long wait, I knew that they weren't going to germinate. That was 8 trays. And so I lost around 2,000 snaps. And I ordered some more, so I'll be starting those again. Be late on my snaps this year, but every year there's always something. There's always a hiccup every year. And so be it. You live and learn. I've learned to take disappointment with the stride. You can't have success without failure. The farm will definitely teach you that. I love farming, and I don't do it to get rich because I ain't getting rich. Also, in my seedling trailer, you keep a fan going, and the fan keeps the circulation going, and that keeps you from getting mold and fungus on your plants. Mold and fungus can both inhibit the germination rate of your seedlings and also can inhibit the growth, and later on can actually kill your plant once it's been growing. Drew is actually working on an area where our farmer's market is set up, so I will take you to let you see that area. He's been working on getting the bamboo cut down over there. We're taking down this bamboo and making an area in here where everyone can walk in to our farmer's market area. We'll have a fence going along here and coming up around this area, and then you'll go in the farmer's market that way. And this is our farmer's market inside of here, and it's just a shell right now. Drew is working on putting floor in.
Wow, look at that beautiful floor. Come on into my I've got this lifted. I gotta lift this part over here and then put a new floor in. That's about it. It'll look cool. Yeah, it goes quick. You just gotta give the time to get it all done. Yeah.
So we have all of these tomatoes. I have to transplant these. These have got to go in the ground today. These are flowers, and I'm not quite ready to put these in, so they'll have to be probably transplanted. These have got to go in today. These are my sweet peas. I've grown these before, but I wanted to just do a few of those, or you have to keep up with them a lot. So, and I'm not sure I'm gonna have time. That's the ranunculus. Whoop whoop. More tomatoes. Tomatoes that are transplanted, but I need to separate them out. I did them with 2. Now it's time to move them to 1 so that they'll be ready for sale. These are our cucumbers. Cucumbers, they did not, some of them did not do very well during the winter, even with being kept sheltered. And more onions to go into the ground. You want to start seedlings? I'm going to tell you how. My number one rule of starting a seedling is the temperatures. So cucumbers and tomatoes germinate around 70 to 75 degrees, and so that's the main goal, is to keep your temperatures. I believe if you keep your temperatures, you can basically germinate anything. So in my seedling trailer, it's very, very insulated, and so we can keep our temperatures right where we need them to be. In Texas, because it's so hot, it's best to start them during the winter. you can hold your temperature where you need it to be. It gets so hot during the summer, there is no way you could germinate during the summer unless you do it outside. And I've done it that way, but it's not that great because temperatures in Texas get triple digits a lot. Number 2 is light. You got to have a lot of light to germinate. That is the second most important thing, because without light, nothing's growing, including human beings. And thirdly, you want to have water. Those are the 3 main things that you want. You want temperatures, light, and water, and you can grow just about anything. I say that, but I would disagree with flowers, because flowers is a whole other creature. So this morning I have some trainers out, and it's the first time I've been training with the chickens free and running and not having tables. So I have to keep an eye on them so that the chickens don't eat my seedlings, which I don't think they will, but you never know with chickens. They find something new and they'll devour it. How I like to do my onions, like you can go out there and get on your knees and take each 4-inch and pull them apart and put them in the hole. What I have learned is if you take all of your bulbs out and put them on a flat, it's much easier and much faster to pop them in and go. So I'll show you what I mean once I get these pulled together. I started these onions in November 2024, and this is February. I always start mine in about February. They've been in for about 4 months, I guess. So I am going to show you how to pull these onions out without harming the roots too much. They're actually quite easy. Onions are not very hard to do. You just kind of manipulate the soil like this and they'll just kind of fall off. So just real gently pull, and even when they give you some resistance, they really just come right out. But just don't pull real hard and don't yank. Just kind of give a steady pull, and if you need to, just kind of wiggle it like that, and they just kind of come out like that. So it's not very hard, and that's how we do it. And this is what I mean. So they're all separated and ready to be put in. Well, we were able to get the onions in, so it was a good weekend, I would say, Drew.
I would say so too.
Well, we thank you guys for joining us, and we hope to see you next time here on the farm.